Craig. It's
Hello,
good to hear
Craig.
from you.
My weekly Craig.
All about that weekly Craig.
You gotta get your weekly Craig.
Whoa. Supplementary
Craig
Craig. Wow. That was strange. All right.
Oh, great. I say we just get into this. Are you all ready to get into this?
Yeah.
I'm all good.
All right. Welcome to what episode are we at? 8, 9, episode 9. I have written down actually episode 9. The ocean episode.
Ooh, I'm excited. I am excited.
So all of our topics today are going to be related to the ocean, if that wasn't clear. Hopefully now it is.
Thanks for clearing that up. I was confused.
I can imagine someone might be confused. Maybe they've never seen the ocean, never heard of it. So, Loraella.
Hello.
Why don't you take it away? What is the ocean?
Okay. I'm going to define the ocean because I think that's funny. According to
our alien listeners.
Yeah.
Know what the ocean is.
You're right. That's a great point. So the ocean, as defined by Google, is a very large expanse of sea, in particular each of the main areas into which the sea is divided geographically. The additional definition is the ocean, the sea, and a very large expanse or quantity of water. So, that's the ocean. For a little bit less technical definition, that's the big wets between the continents that are salty. So,
big water.
The big water. And I thought this would be a great topic because the ocean is very, very, very large and very old, and it is. I think is it still less explored than space? I don't know.
Well,
at least that was a rumor we all have heard. We can maybe get down to the bottom of that. Yeah, so...
I mean, I guess if speaking volume-wise, we've definitely seen a lot more of the ocean percentage than space.
Yeah.
So according to BBC.com, NASA's space mission is leading us to unexplored depths of our own planet. Our oceans cover more than 70% of the Earth's surface, but over 80% of that remains unexplored. In fact, it is often claimed that we know more about the surface of Mars and the Moon than about the ocean floor on our own planet. So that's a little bit different than just space. And this was posted in 2022. So
Current.
We know less about over 80% of the ocean remains unexplored. And that's a lot for something that's so big on our planet. So I always like to talk about and conjecture about what the heck's down there. And I'm a little spooked by it. But I also have horrible... how do you pronounce this word? The Lassophobia, which is it's a phobia that makes you really scared of deep bodies of water, like the ocean. Mostly the ocean. So yeah,
I feel like I have like a type of thalassophobia, or maybe like a minor fear of it, because it's like, I don't know. It's like if I look at the ocean, I'll be like, oh, that's not very scary. Like I can go out into the ocean and stuff like that. But like, I feel like it's beneath the surface. That's the part that terrifies me. Like if I look at the surface of it, I'm like, oh yeah, cool, awesome. It's just the ocean. Stretches of water forever. Or at least it looks like it. But when the people like take pictures of like what thalassophobia like means, and they're like, oh yeah, look at this deep blue water with no end in sight and light rays that are just going down into nothingness. I'm like, yeah, it's unsettling.
Yeah, I really can relate to that because I like the beach quite a lot. And I like to swim in the ocean when I'm at the beach quite a lot. But the drop off, that's where things start getting wiggy. I also had the luxury of being able to snorkel in the Caribbean for my parents' wedding, and I had a horrible panic attack because we went out in a boat, which was fine. It was fine being on the boat. It was a little sketchy. But then we go into the water, and I just could not handle it at all.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's difficult being like all the way out there. I haven't been all the way out there, but I can imagine it's like a game changer. Because like you said, I like swimming in the ocean. I like being like on the coastline and like going around through there, but I can't imagine getting pulled out by the ocean currents and being past the drop off because there's not a whole lot I can do after that.
So just to kind of get things really cooking here, if we could sum up our individual feelings on the ocean in like maybe 1 to 3 words, what would be yours, Magic Man?
This is a very like loose 3-word summary. Look but don't touch. Because it's nice, but
okay.
there's a lot of like, I don't know. There's a lot of dangers to it. Like you just have to be careful with what you're doing. Again, it's very loose. Like again, I go into the ocean, so like I'm obviously touching it, but like know your limits with it.
What about you?
I won't lie. I feel the exact opposite. Like I think simple, serene, peaceful. Those are my 3 words. Though I've never been out in the open ocean. I don't know. It just seems nice. Like there's just water and sky. That's it. And I don't know. There's something simple and nice about that.
I think mine are going to be a little weird, but I think they fit personally, of course. And I'm going to say it's like a primordial eldritch wonder. Those are the words I think when I think about the ocean.
Okay. And speaking of primordial eldritch wonder, let's talk about what the fuck is in the ocean.
I love this conversation.
All kinds of primordial eldritch wonders.
I love
this. I don't know. Well, there's definitely massive creatures, which is sort of why I'm like, look but don't touch, because I feel like there's a lot of things I could do to protect myself against the creatures of the land. Like
yes,
if there was like a wild dog attacking me, like I'd be like, okay, I can at least like run, you know, I might be able to
fashion
kick
a
the
tool.
dog. Yes, make some kind of tool. In the ocean, it's me and the currents. There's nothing I can do. Like if a shark attacked me, that's it. He is winning that fight.
You can't grab onto nothing. You can't. There's no stick.
There's nothing I can grab.
Yeah, the sense of helplessness is that's why I have that fear, because I just like to kind of paint it in another light. Imagine you're like in a space like walk, right? Completely 0G. You're not like touching anything right now. You're relying on somebody on the inside of the ship to like pull you back in. I don't think that would ever happen, but say it was. And then you just get like something swims past you. You know, it's like moving with intention and control, and you're like, oh, I legitimately can't control anything about where my placement is.
No.
And this thing's moving very quickly around me. I think that's how I feel about the ocean, despite the fact you can swim, which is a little bit different than space, but...
Yeah, I mean, like you could, that's about all you could do in the ocean. You can just swim away from your problems.
But like, yeah, and you're slow.
Yeah, and you're terrible at it. No matter how well like you are, like Michael Phelps would still have a problem going up against a shark, because that man can swim, but he can't swim like a shark can swim.
Nope.
Fish
and I'm glad
too. Like animal creatures are they're fucking crazy. Like they have no chill whatsoever.
No.
You know, there's like koalas, there's sloths, there's animals on land that are just like, oh, what do? I relax and eat leaves. I'm a panda, you know, like it's simple shit. But even down to like stingrays, like they'll just stab the fuck out of you. You know, there's a really chill shit in the ocean.
No, teeth are meant to like shred,
Right,
and
right.
things are meant to paralyze and hypnotize and camouflage. It's a deceitful place, the ocean.
And I feel like
Deceitful and violent place.
tigers will kill one thing and be like, "Cool, I got my kill." Sharks will be like, "I'm ripping everything apart." Like I kill
I need
one,
to
I
eat a
move on.
lot right now.
Not to mention the creatures in the ocean get creepier the deeper you go.
Oh yeah.
Like they get like more and more like terrifying as you like venture into the darkness. That's another thing. Like if you ever find yourself in the deep ocean where it's like completely
No.
pitch black,
Please.
something has the upper hand because it can see you, but you can't see it. So there's not
Or
a
even
whole lot you can do.
sense you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rock bottom.
Rock bottom.
And I like that it sounded like we all kind of agreed that there are almost certainly just leviathans down like in like just enormous creatures. I mean, maybe they are very, very slow or very sleepy or what, because you know things are weird at the bottom of the ocean. But I heard you say it earlier, Magic Man. There are big things in there.
Yeah.
Old
Like,
big things.
I guess my thalassophobia sort of goes off of that helplessness that you mentioned, where it's like I'm not terrified of whales. Like I'm not really scared of whales, but being so tiny next to one of them in the ocean with nothing but me and it is what sort of makes it unnerving for me.
You're just completely outclassed.
Yeah, exactly. Like on land, the humans are the big dogs, aren't we? Like, like we were apex, but like put us in the ocean, I feel like we're knocked down a peg on the food chain here.
Like I'd even fight a whale on land, but I would not fight a whale in the ocean. Like there's zero chance.
Ugh. Oh my god, they're just so much bigger than you. Like that's really all that it is. And the thing is you know, not whales themselves aren't super fast, but they're a lot faster than you. So they're big and fast, which is kind of not how things usually work out. Like I feel like conceptually, right, when you're like thinking of beasts and monsters, like the bigger something is, the slower it moves. Like we see movies all the time where giants are like whoa, and you know they're going to hit things and it's taking a while, or at least they're a little bit slower. But no, they're quick. They're faster than you actually.
Yeah, I guess big things make more momentum. So I think it's easier for a whale to sort of push itself through the water.
Yeah, and it's got like an extremely enormously muscled tail, like designed for that particular locomotion.
Right.
I feel like one like downward push of the tail is just gonna send me in the opposite direction. I think it'll act as like a shockwave in the currents.
Oh yeah. Out, get underwater whiplash.
Yeah.
Easily.
Okay, if you had, yeah, you might like snap your neck or something. If you had to take on a creature from the ocean, it's that helplessness feeling. What would you rather take on? Like what would you?
Like a seahorse, bro.
Yeah.
No, starfish are creepy too.
They're creepy, bro. But I can take a starfish.
I can imagine a starfish just eating you over time.
Not a big starfish, like a regular starfish.
Normal starfish.
The most generic starfish you can find.
I kind of don't want to fight a seahorse because that's a little fucked up, but I don't want to fight anything bigger than a seahorse.
God, the things I wouldn't want to run into out there. Swordfish. Not like predatory, but still could be very dangerous. Stingray, probably not. I wouldn't want to run into one of those. But obviously a great white shark, or any shark for that matter. But one thing I really wouldn't want to run into are like jellyfish, or like the fields of them that sometimes just pop up in the oceans.
Oh, that would be horrible.
Yeah, that would
over again. You're underwater.
There's not a whole lot you can do. Especially the ones that like trail on for miles. Have you guys ever seen a picture of those? There's one. Yeah. Well, it's not like actual miles, but it's like hundreds of feet. They're they're hella long for no reason.
And that's why I'm like, yeah, there are big things in the ocean.
If anything is a leviathan, I feel like it has to be a jellyfish.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Those things are so efficient with how they live. It's like You're the only thing that can just never die.
Well,
Like literally.
have y'all heard of the wormy things?
Wormy
The wormy
things?
things?
Yeah, let me just look up what they are.
Types in the wormy things.
Giant. No. It's like a giant.
I wouldn't be
tube
surprised if the
worm.
ocean conjured the wormy things.
An Alaskan bullworm.
No, no, but maybe the inspiration for one. What is this? It's called a bobbit worm.
A bobbit.
I'm pulling up a lot of different pictures, but there is. Is this even a real worm? It's on Reddit. I don't know. Let's see if this is fake.
If it's Reddit, there's like an 87% chance that it's fake.
Yeah. Just gonna Google giant sea worm, bobbit worm, and giant tube worm. But either way, it's like an enormous, translucent, bluish thing that vaguely, not to be distasteful, but it vaguely looks like a condom floating in the ocean. But like if it was Poseidon's.
Right, condom worm.
I just pulled up a bunch of pictures of them. Yeah, that's disgusting. You're
Isn't
absolutely
it freaky
right.
looking? Yeah. But they're enormous, right? Like, isn't that crazy? And
Oh my god, I hate them. It's the first I'm seeing it, and I dislike it. It sort of looks like
yeah, it's just a giant sea worm, I think is what it's called.
Yeah. What is it? It sort of reminds me of that one. Has anybody ever played Subnautica here?
Yes, but I can't because it gives me heart palpitations. So I'm
It
playing
reminds me of that one
second at a
Leviathan.
time. Oh, I haven't met a single Leviathan. I've played like 40 hours of that game and gotten about 5 minutes into it due to panic attacks.
You wouldn't want to run into one of these. Take one of these gigantic sea worms and like multiply its size by like times 15.
No.
Maybe more.
See, that might already be out there, bro.
It could
Who
be.
knows?
Some sort of genetic mutation of this bobbit worm just makes it
Or-
like 15 times larger.
Maybe
Oh,
it's just
God.
old. Who knows? That stuff could just naturally exist down there. What is the biggest ocean creature ever discovered? Let's find out. It's just the blue whale. Are you sure?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the blue whale is
Yeah,
massive.
it is very large. Well, but I feel like maybe I should look up
reoccurring creature.
longest.
Right.
Or like the oldest.
Okay. Longest deep sea animal. It's spotted off the Australian coast, of course. This is according to science.org. What is it?
Incredible.
Whoa. Okay. It's a noodle.
Sea noodle.
While exploring the Ningaloo canyons of the coast of Western Australia with the Sebastian underwater robot, a team of researchers spotted what they believe to be the longest organism ever recorded, a giant siphonophore of the genus Apolemia. It is related to jellyfish and
Yes.
corals and looks like a long gelatinous string. It is formed by thousands of small specialized cells called zooids that work together to create a functional colony. And they recorded it to be about more than 120 meters long.
Dude, these things are trippy. I looked it up when you said the name. Dude, they're like it's like an underwater LED light strip. It's ridiculous.
Also, could that potentially be just like a little underwater city of some sort for like little tiny organisms?
Maybe. Oh my god.
I guess that's
They just
kind of
are
what it
LEDs.
is.
Like they're literally just like dolphins invented LEDs. We're like, what is this? This is a new creature.
Whoa,
Dude, I got
yours look
LEDs for
weird.
the sea cave. Come on over.
Oh, humans are trashing it.
Oh, that's sad. I'm sorry.
I like to imagine that there's a Atlantis, of course, because we're talking about the ocean,
In Atlantis, yeah.
and it's fully populated by dolphins. But only the stupid dolphins come to the surface.
Yeah. The smart ones are like down there like solving underwater ocean kingdom problems and
Maybe they're
they
really
have like a
shitty.
society.
Oligarchy, and they just keep kicking people out.
Yeah, I think the ocean holds all sorts of freaking secrets. I mean, like, not to get too existential, but consider, say we don't what we think humanity started out is actually like humanity part 3, like a third attempt at it. We rise, we fall again, as the sci-fi trope goes. And then the ocean, shouldn't the ocean have like tons of stuff in it, if that's the case?
Oh yeah, it's probably just all like buried underneath the sands and like lost forever.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. It's kind of weird to think of it that way. It's like the
Yeah.
Earth is a big like stew, and shit just keeps walking up out of it and evolving.
Yeah. And
Because
it's also got layers, like an onion, you know, or an
Yeah.
ogre.
Like an onion.
Because the ocean has risen from like eons ago.
Yeah, and it's
And
also fallen.
Yeah, so there's definitely things that have been like lost undersea that was like a coastal attraction at some point, but now it's just like withered with time and has totally disappeared.
Yeah, we actually have that here in Colorado. Colorado used to be well underwater. And there are underwater dinosaur fossils and things.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why they find like the fossils of like sea creatures so far inland. So we were just like, what the hell are they doing out here? And then they, this happened to just be part of the coastline millennia ago.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think about like what's actually in the ocean because we haven't like discovered it. So how do we know there like aren't? Well, obviously there's things that we don't know about, but how do we know there aren't things that could like benefit us in a way? Like there's a lot like people say like like modern medicine comes from like a lot of like plants and stuff, and, like or we find some things that go into modern medicine. It's usually all some kind of natural thing mixed in with science to make this stuff. But like what if there's like crazy stuff that like in the ocean that we can use in our land society, but we just haven't explored it, so we don't really know what we're doing, so we can't use it.
That could absolutely be true. Like, there's a kelp out there that's perfect substitute for all rubber, and it's naturally grown and easily reproduced. Yeah, like...
See, yeah, like we could totally use that instead of like using, rubber that's going to stick around for 100+ years and then disappear.
Or just burning rubber trees down, or like cutting them down, rather. We don't just... Can you imagine? Just burn it, that'll help us.
What if there's just money down there?
I'm telling you, maybe.
Poseidon's
Right?
treasures.
Like the bottom of the ocean is just littered with Benjamins.
Probably not Benjamin specifically. I have to point out.
Although I'm willing to bet some like criminal was like, we gotta hide the money, and then like threw the money into like the bay, and then they just never found the briefcase again, and it just like went out to sea.
Like, bye.
It was just was somehow watertight.
So I guess it's all currencies.
I want to find Poseidon's gold. That's the currency I'm after.
I don't know if anything's good. The ocean kind of goes and like just takes it all. It rusts, it corrodes, it bleaches. The ocean is it takes it back into itself a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would have to be in a really nice chest, which is what she said.
Can I say I'm very fascinated with the idea of the whole message in a bottle thing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it? Haven't we always? I feel like everybody ever has wanted to find one.
Yeah, like I sent one out when I was a kid. I forget what I wrote in it now. I was like 6 at the time, but I put. Okay, environmental people, please. I was 6 years old, so don't hate me, please. I put it in a plastic bottle and sent it out. It's probably floating in the garbage patch in the Great Pacific. So
I wonder how many message in a bottles are.
Yeah. I wonder how many just got lost out there. Yeah, I put it in a plastic, what I imagine Dasani water bottle, sealed it tight, and just set it floating. I hope it didn't do too much damage to the environment.
Probably not. Not just your bottle.
just add to the collective problem of plastic message in a bottles.
Oh my gosh.
No, but I
in one spot.
Yeah, there's this huge patch of plastic water bottles that have messages in them. I know, but I would love to find a message in a bottle, like a very antique bottle that has just been floating around with like the proper cork in it, and you open it up and the letters written in calligraphy. I'm like, this would be so cool. I need to send out like a real one this time. like one in like a glass bottle.
I feel like finding a message in a bottle is like getting a paper airplane randomly thrown at you. And what I mean by that is that it's always disappointing in its context. Because you're going to open up that note and it's going to be like, Henry was here.
Henry
Yeah.
here.
I mean, you can.
Ooh,
And apparently, humans have always done that. Like, if you research, like, old graffiti is just like, I fucked ye mum. And, like, Harold was here, like, 40 feet off the ground on a rock face. Like, dicks everywhere. It's not different. It's not new.
Let's get a really nice dick pic.
Like a caveman dick pic.
In the message in a bottle, yes.
Or it could be that rare.
It's like on rocks.
It's like painted on the rocks with like dried blood. There's that one rare occasion that you get a very, very well written like bottle. What if it's like a love letter in there? Or like what if it's like the deed to like some like island palace or something from like some European dude? Like that would be so cool.
I mean, counterpoint though, what if it's a suicide letter?
Oh,
That
no.
would not be so cool. Yeah, that would immediately take away from the thrill of a message in a bottle.
You're like, oh, great. Now I have baggage and trauma with me. Thank you.
I know, right? Yeah. From the ocean. Thanks, the ocean.
What
Thanks,
would you
Ocean.
do? What would you do with that?
I mean, you have to take
Like-
it to the police, right? Just in case.
Yeah, but what if it was like from like the 1800s? Is it still a valid?
And you take it to a
Right.
museum.
Yeah, I guess. There's nothing. There's nothing really you could do. I guess if it's an old bottle with that kind of
Yeah.
kind of context.
They're dead. They've been dead for a while, but at least if it was modern-ish, then you can maybe close a cold case or something.
Yeah, maybe. Old things in the ocean.
That'd be a cold case with the suicide. Like
Well, maybe somebody like went missing and they never realized, they never found out that they killed themselves because they just left the message in the bottle and then we found it
Oh.
years later, or like something like that. Solve some sort of mystery.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. That's okay. This is by no means am I encouraging suicide. I want to start off by saying that.
Don't kill yourself.
But isn't it kind of rad that they just put a letter out into the ether and they were like, someone's gonna find this?
It might be 50 years, it might be 100 years from now, but somebody will find it. Yeah. I mean, in a
There's
way.
something symbolic about that. I don't know. It's neat. I think if I saw it in a movie, I'd be like, wow, what a profound movie. Having no idea what it is.
I don't know. What would your message in a bottle be, there, Magic Man?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I feel like it would have to be something significant. Maybe like a quote of like the time, So like if somebody found it, like yeah, like something from this time period. It could be a quote. It could be like some kind of saying, something that happened in this time period. So that way when somebody finds it, like 50, 30, 100 years plus from now on, they'd be like, I see. This happened on this date that was left on this piece of paper.
Like a little cultural blurb.
Yeah, interesting.
Like, oh my god, Depp won in court. Like, that's what you
put that in the...
Can you believe it?
I just can't help but imagine it being found like a week later and it's like still too fresh. People are like, what the fuck? Back in the ocean.
Yeah, it just shows right back up on the.
I think that would be funnier. Imagine if you found a bottle and that's what it said. I would be doubled over. Somebody wanted somebody to know so bad.
And what if it came true? Like 3 days later, they're like, Depp wins, and they're like, whoa, fortune telling bottle from
fortune telling.
I wouldn't describe a message in the bottle as wanting to have someone read it, like seriously. I feel like that would just be hoping. Like that's like the least effective form of getting an idea across to someone is a message in the bottle.
Yeah, I mean it's a slower one.
I think what I would do is I would write the most delightful and pleasant message that I possibly could. I would want to make whoever found that feel really, really good about themselves and be like, what's going on in your life is temporary. If something good's happening, you better appreciate it and be grateful. I bet that you're a really awesome person, but if not, you can do it. I would really just try and be a humongous little boost of inspiration and kindness in a little bottle. Because that would be so nice to just have someone somewhere find.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Type the recipe in.
Can you hear me typing? My apologies.
I can, but you're right.
I was looking up the thought I just had.
No, you're good. I thought it was Brandon, actually, so I feel bad for kind of calling you out a little bit.
I thought it would. I didn't think it would come through. I'm using the mic on my external mic here. Again, having problems with the audio. Sorry, folks.
Be typing with those big hands.
Oh.
Like big meaty claws.
Pressing down real hard.
Oh dear.
Gotta let the keys know who's boss.
Oh, this is a saga.
No, what if we plugged our podcast in a message in a bottle?
Oh, that would be amazing. I would love that.
Nice. I mean, yeah, we'd have to do that, right?
Some little boy in Portugal finds it. What is Dungeon Dwellers podcast?
What is YouTube?
And he looks.
Not that people in Portugal don't have YouTube. I was just imagining that time, it might be in the future. And this, I'm so sorry for that implication. That's not what I meant. I just meant it might be the year 2359, and somebody's like, YouTube.
It's too
podcasts.
Late. We've lost our Portuguese listeners.
Gosh, I'm so
listeners
sorry.
from Portugal. We love you to death.
We do.
Thank you for listening to 8.5 episodes. We implore you to listen to more.
Yeah, just give it your best shot. Because we're giving it our best shot.
Oh boy, best shots.
If we could shoot a message in a bottle into space, I would totally plug our podcast.
Oh, right.
Didn't they kind of do that?
We did.
Dude.
Against
Sorta.
God, what's
It's a gold record. Yeah.
Against Stephen Hawking's advice, we did that. Not only
Which
did we
I don't
the
like.
record, but we
Oh yeah.
recently. This is most recently. I think it was last year, maybe, or the year before that. We sent out a broadcast.
Yeah.
Specifically like a incredible, never been as long wave broadcast.
I hate that. You know why? I'm going to come full circle here. That's like if you gained the ability to scream so that everything in the ocean would eventually hear you, and you went in there and you did that and you said, hey, anybody! And then you just stayed in that same spot because you couldn't move and waited. And I don't like that.
I mean, at least you're ready, right? You're waiting.
You're in the ocean. Are you? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I guess they can't surprise you.
Yeah, I guess I mean, seeing them would probably still be some kind of shock, but I guess if we were like, "Oh, aliens, hello, welcome," and they were like, "You sent a message 200 years ago," and you'd be like, "Oh, that message, you finally got it." I guess we wouldn't be surprised in that sort of sense.
I guess not.
I bet.
What if you forget?
I bet we will. I bet we will be surprised whenever we do see any extraterrestrial activity. Not you, though, alien listener. We know you're out there.
Yeah. Thank you for listening again. I'm glad you're here.
If you are still here.
No, of course they are.
And
Space podcast?
Plug your alien listeners with our podcast as well.
Yeah. Spread it to your friends and your family.
Yeah.
Aliens have friends and family?
You have? I mean, surely, right?
Is that an assumption?
They might not be called friends and family. It might be like gleeps or glorps.
Whoa. No need to be racist now.
Being very racist. I'm sorry. If I become your least favorite character on the podcast, that's okay. I'm sorry.
Well, we'd love to hear what you fear in the ocean the most, as well as what message you would put in a bottle.
Yeah. Please leave that in the comments.
Oh, that would be so cool. Yeah, tell us.
As well for the rest of the human listeners as well. Yeah. The Earthlings.
Yeah, you guys.
We might need a space episode.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. I think space is amazing
I think there's
and scary.
it's
Like the bigger ocean.
Yeah. It's like an equally as long topic, if not a longer topic, as the ocean.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Aren't astronauts like trained in the ocean, or is it like just a large body of water, like some kind of like water indoor tube or something like that?
I think
like
it's
the big
just
tubes they have.
Yeah, it's just a body of water that they have, like
Yeah.
a pool.
Yeah, this is very similar in the same regard. They just probably can't
Right.
swim around in space, like do the backstroke off their satellite
Oh my
or their
god,
space station.
that would mean death. So you're right. They
That-
can't. But they
Great.
can.
That would mean death, he says.
Yeah. Imagine you're just showing off as an astronaut, doing some stupid shit. Watch me do the backstroke. And that's it.
And he backstroked into the distance.
Yep. You probably get sucked into the Earth's gravity and then just burn up in the atmosphere.
Oh god.
Whoa.
That'd suck.
I mean, you did way before that.
Yeah.
Hopefully, right?
Yeah, I hope.
That doesn't sound very good otherwise. I have
Yeah.
to say.
That would be the worst way to go. It's burning up in the atmosphere. You'd have to pass out at some point, right?
I'd hope so. Like,
I'd
just from the
hope
pain.
so. Seriously, if or just the fear, shock, disorientation, literally any of them.
Yeah.
Please? Because otherwise, oh my god.
If that happened, I would just like use up all of my oxygen as fast as possible. I'd just be like, please, no more of it before I get like pulled into the earth.
Right, you have to like
Hyperventilate.
Yeah. Ugh.
Oh man. Space episode, we're coming for you. We've got a lot to talk about for that.
We still got a lot to talk about for the ocean. So
do.
what's like if anything could exist, what do you think would be the thing that existed in the ocean?
Oh, like the thing?
Like, yeah, I mean, I guess the thing you're worried about the most. Not the most necessarily, but the craziest perhaps.
Oh man. I feel like anything that's like way longer than it should be, you know? Like abnormally, like the longest jellyfish, like we were talking about that. They're like hundreds of feet. But that's a normal occasion in nature. Like those things, like I don't know if they breed. How do jellyfish even show up? How do they get
I don't know.
How do they appear?
Could be a whole episode about that. How the fuck do jellyfish get there?
Whatever alien overlord that keeps placing jellyfish here. That's a thing that happens in nature. Like they're meant to be hundreds of feet long, you know? For like something that's like not supposed to be hundreds of feet long, I would be afraid to find that down there.
So
Like a
sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say like a giant eel or something. That would suck. Like some kind of giant water snake.
Would suck.
Yeah,
Not like a serpent. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Like when you look up what a leviathan is, firstly, there's a lot of biblical shit. But it's kind of just like an enormous sea monster that is just like lizardy or snaky or octopusy, and it's just got this overarching thing that it is just imperceivably large, and it's got noodliness to it. So it's got like a slippery, slimy. Some of them breathe fire, other of them shoot lasers. Like there's the kraken, which is a common leviathan.
Oh god, yeah. I'd hate to run into the kraken.
Charybdis. Yeah, so, and then of course the Leviathan of biblical lore. Cthulhu, I think, is also technically considered a Leviathan. So I think that
Godzilla as well.
yeah, I guess in a way, right? So I think that is probably, and I know that that's broad, but I'm going to say something like that exists.
Yeah.
What would be the worst one of the bunch? I guess Cthulhu. I mean, that kind of goes.
Oh God, yeah. The freaking elder god, yeah, that would suck.
Yeah, I really can't think of anything worse than that.
I mean, unless the water itself is sentient, right?
Oh my God, this whole time the ocean was alive and listening to us.
Like the currents are alive, like it's just like the currents are like breathing. Like,
The ocean is God.
Terrifying.
Oh my God, we just find a big eye down there.
What's the name of the deepest trench? What is it, like Mariana Marina?
Yeah, Marianas Trench.
Yeah, that terrifies me. That I don't like that very much. Let's talk about that for a minute.
There's a live stream where you can look into the Marianas Trench. It's like
really? You know,
I might be
some
lying.
insane person did that, and they're now doing that currently. I guess it would. I don't think it would be people. Would it be people? Would it be like a robot or something?
Robots in the ocean is something I didn't consider.
Oh, like you're thinking
yeah.
like giant like mechanism things down there.
Yeah, that's
Possible.
not good.
Yeah.
I lied.
Look.
There is no such live stream, but there
Wow.
should.
There should be, yeah. As much as I would hate it, there should be. I mean, if you really think about it, if you're like some big like mastermind supervillain and you're building a giant robot, why not just make it waterproof? Take the extra step and build it in the
You
ocean.
really should.
Yeah, you know? Like build anything in the ocean if you're some kind of diabolical villain.
Yeah, I guess if you're at that point already.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck it. Make it faster than a shark.
Yeah. Make it like the fastest thing down there.
Right? Give yourself the advantage.
As much as it terrifies me, and I know there's a lot of people who are like, oh, the ocean's terrible, terrifying. To bite the bullet, to be the one person who has to do it, you know, like somebody's got to collect the garbage, somebody has to do it, somebody has to do that job, you know, like if I had to be the one person to do it, I would probably do it. I would probably go and explore parts of the ocean that we probably shouldn't be in.
Ooh, not me.
I don't know.
I'm pretty good under pressure, but ocean and me, it's catatonic. I'm like, and then that's it. I just don't. I'm dead.
Well, yeah. Well, I say that, but I would first get like an Elon Musk budget and spend whatever money he's using like to go to space to go into the ocean. Like I would build like the SpaceX rocket of submarines to go down there and like explore. Like I'd have like a big fund,
cool.
like a big budget,
like an arc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right, you know.
I feel like that would still scare me a lot.
We're getting.
I'd have to put like we're getting like underwater mechs. I'd have to put like torpedoes on the sub, though, in case I did encounter something. I'm like, blow it to smithereens, and then just fight it underwater. I'd probably lose, because again, a submarine is not going to win against like the classic Kraken. You know, like the classic one from like the Pirates' Tales, where they're like, oh, yar, they're pulling me underwater, that kind of thing. Like that's just, you're not gonna win. You're not gonna win.
I wonder if you could like electrify the water.
What? Why would you want
around
to do that?
you? Not.
Sorry, I said that.
You're in a suit, or in a submarine.
Like, why would you do that?
How far would that go? You know,
could you imagine
to electrify something?
Like you take it too far and you nuke the entire ocean.
It like zaps everything in it. That would be a problem. That would be a really big problem.
Say the least, right?
I mean, that would be the end of the Earth, right? Like you just have to move on. Like Mars colonization would be top priority at that point.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of there is a lot of things we get from the ocean currently. You know, like I was saying like, yeah, oh well, what if there's more? What if there's things down there where, you know, we could use it for our society on land? but we haven't gone there. Like, I know I was saying that, but like we have been using a lot of things from the ocean. Like the salt, for example. You know, there's fishermen who actually get food from the ocean. There's things that go into certain kinds of beauty products, I guess. Do we use stuff from the ocean in beauty
Yeah,
products?
no.
Yeah.
That's true.
Not to
so
mention, the ocean is this big fucking stew that we just crawled out of one day.
the primordial soup.
And to your point, like, we really kind of need it. And there's things in it that are really, really helpful.
Yeah.
Really, you can blame the ocean for any problem that you have.
Whoa. I don't know.
I mean, it is ultimately the ocean's fault. You have to pay taxes. That's the ocean's fault.
Oh, yeah.
Without the ocean, we wouldn't pay taxes.
Some amphibian lizard decided to crawl its way out of the ocean and evolve and become the tax man.
Says part. Fuck you, Frank.
If there's a tax man named Frank listening to our podcast, he's like, what did I do?
You taxed us, Frank.
You taxed us, Frank. That's what you did. Oh, man.
The ocean, again, I still stand by what I said. Primordial eldritch wonder. The wonder is a big thing, you know?
It is, yeah. I wonder what the oldest thing in the ocean is. Like if we've like, you know, well, like I should narrow it down. The oldest animal in the ocean, like the oldest creature.
I know there was a shark recently that was really, really old.
I think I heard about that. Let me hang on. No, now I'm interested. Now I'm gonna look that up. I heard about a shark that was alive. I think my brother was telling me about it.
Yeah, I think it was a shark.
Was it a Greenland shark? Is it called that?
Oh, I don't know.
Because apparently Greenland sharks have like an average age that was around 272 years old. Oh, no shit. Okay. So there was a Greenland shark that was discovered that had a harpoon like in its back.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a adulthood Greenland shark, I guess I should say. It's not like a young one or like an adolescent. It's a full-grown shark. And it had a harpoon in its back, but the harpoon was from like the 1800s when they pulled it out of it. And they like analyzed it, and it was like an old harpoon. So that's odd. I guess it's from, what is it? They said it's from like whalers or something. Yeah, whalers. So I guess whalers in the 1800s threw this harpoon at the shark, and it just kept it in it for 200
crazy.
plus years.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that.
Yeah.
See,
Good Lord.
The land animals don't do that shit.
No.
At all. They just lay down and die.
I mean, deer can kind of be crazy, and so can like bulls and things, but not quite like that.
Yeah. Because I've heard like hunter stories where like hunters go like bow hunting and they shoot an arrow into a deer and the deer runs off with it like, in its leg.
Yeah.
And then it just like they lose it, so the arrow stays there or it falls out on its on its own natural like cause.
Right.
But that's crazy that it stayed in that shark.
Yeah. I was just talking about the ocean destroying shit, so that's kind of surprising.
Yeah.
It didn't.
And the fact that it was like an adult shark means that it was like in its youth it was harpooned.
Mm-hmm.
Which is still crazy that it was like young in the 1800s. Like that's such a large like span of time.
I mean, that shark has lived through so much history.
Yeah.
But I imagine it's no longer alive now, right?
Yeah, I wonder if it's still living. I'm not sure the article goes that far. To say
maybe
that.
let it go. I'm like, oh shit, there's Jerry from 1804.
Yeah. We should be like tagging more like ocean creatures that we find like astounding. Like we should like put like little trackers in them. Like I know like people are like donate to the ocean fund and you can watch this live tracker of a whale, or like you can adopt a whale for X amount of days or something like that.
Humans are funny.
Humans are funny.
That's a funny thing.
Kind of a funny thing, right?
But I feel like we should do that more often with things that we find just like randomly in the ocean, like crazy jellyfish. Tag it. Let's watch its entire lifeline.
Shit, you get out there and tag the crazy jellyfish.
I'm not saying I'd be the one to do it, but but there are people who are crazy enough to do it.
I feel like I'd ask it nicely, and if it said no,
Hey, can I tattoo you, please?
No, I'd be like, hey, can you just hold on to this? Like, I don't.
Just carry it with you.
Can we tie
Hopefully
this
for the rest of your
tracker
life,
to you?
right?
And like speaks to you telepathically. You're like, no. It's like, all right, fine, have a good one.
Absolutely. If a fucking giant jellyfish in the ocean tells me telepathically no, I'm taking that no.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd have no fight. There would be no resistance against that.
I'd probably think, oh, well, have a good day then. And then I wouldn't be sure if it heard me, and I'd say it out loud just to make sure.
Just to be certain.
Like I'm being polite. I bring no harm.
I feel like if there were any creatures to communicate telepathically, it'd be jellyfish.
Well, mushrooms. That's a whole podcast thing too. Mushrooms are crazy.
Mushrooms, okay. Okay.
Well, yeah, we could do
Are there any underwater mushrooms?
Yes, they're called sea anemones.
Oh, okay.
Maybe, I don't know. That was.
Oh, I said see you.
The ocean conjures all kinds of things. I wouldn't be surprised.
Underwater mushroom, yes. Yes.
Oh my god, they're predatory. I guess mushrooms are also predatory.
They're predatory? What?
Oh god. Sathyrella. Okay, wow, I can't do this one. It's Psathyhrella aquatica.
Oh, we love Latin.
That's an underwater little boy, little fungus man.
How the fuck do mushrooms grow underwater?
Dude, mushrooms are crazy, I'm telling you.
Not even grass grows underwater. Mushrooms just like, fuck it.
I feel like, there's a very like even comparison to like what's growing underwater and what's growing on land. Like there's grass, then there's seagrass. Like there's plants, then there's sea plants. Like there's all kind of mushrooms, sea mushrooms. Like I feel like it's a very like mirrored reality down there.
And I guess it's the same planet, right? That makes sense on paper.
On paper, yeah, it would make sense. But if I go down there and I find out there's sea houses, I'm going to be shocked.
Sea houses for the seahorses?
Yes. Sea stables for the seahorses.
Do they like check themselves into the stable?
Yeah. Well, there might be a sea farmer.
Some seahorses. Oh, that's funny.
God. The ocean is a unique. What's the percentage of the ocean being explored? Because like wasn't it like 7% like 2 years ago or something?
I think it was 20% wasn't explored. I think that's one you said earlier. But 80% of it wasn't.
Over 80% of it isn't, yeah.
Over 80%.
Yeah, they didn't give me a
I thought it was some weird percentage. Over 80% hasn't been explored. See, I feel like that would be my main concern if I was like one of these like spacefaring companies. I'd be like, wow, we're trying to go to space, but we haven't even explored like 80% of our ocean yet. I feel like somebody's got to do it. You can make history with that. Like if you find some crazy thing down at the bottom of the ocean, you will not be forgotten for that. Like that. Like I don't know. Like what if you find like For context, like the lost sea of Atlantis, like we talked about that earlier. Like, what if you just find like the ruins of Atlantis? Now you're in the history books forever.
Done. All you had to do was brave the depths.
Yeah, because nobody else would do it. Like, I feel like we just need that one person who's like, you know what, screw it. Nobody else is gonna do it, and so I'm just gonna do it. Like, if I have to be the guy to do it, then here we go. And for whatever reason, he comes into a lot of money, like all these CEOs do, and now he's exploring the depths. If I were him, I would have established sea bases underwater, like anchored down, like underwater, like glass sea bases, because I feel like that would be awesome. Very sci-fi.
Hey, maybe Red Bull's next move is to get someone down the farthest any human's ever been. Because that one guy did the jump with no parachute. That was crazy.
Oh yeah.
From space.
Yeah, what?
No, and Red Bull helped
A
him out with
human
that.
did that.
I guess it wasn't actual space, but it was more space than we've ever experienced.
I guess like
Yeah.
edge of space, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let's just go the opposite direction. Let's go further in.
Right?
Yeah, right? I feel like wouldn't you, if you were going to do this from a completely objective scenario, say you're playing like a video game or something, wouldn't you explore your full planet before you start going to the next one?
Yeah, get like the 100% completion bonus and then move on.
Right. I guess some people just want to go on to the next game. They're not interested in the lore.
I guess, but they're trying to live hard mode. Like, they have to recreate Earth on another planet to do that. They gotta remake the things that we already have here. I'm not saying space traveling is a bad thing. I would love to travel space, but still, like, I'm thinking like we should complete all the levels here, you know, because we might not ever get back to these levels here if we just let her sort of up and leave and move on.
Like, are we even leveled enough?
I don't know.
Like, what if we get to Mars and everything's level fucking 70? And we're like, oh shit, we're level 35? Oh.
Right, and now we're screwed. You know, because now the next starship to leave isn't set for like another 30 years. Now you're stuck there for a while.
You're just hiding in like the dust.
Mm. At least I can just resurface and go back to, you know, easy mode.
Right, you don't have to take a ship back. You can just go back to the surface and be like, all right, I'm now living in my house the rest of my life. Don't ask me anything.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, like if I find some crazy stuff out in space, you know, first of all, I have to wait for the ship to either come back or be made on Mars, which might take longer. Then I have to leave, travel through space for a bit while contemplating what the hell I just saw. And then once I get back to Earth, people are going to ask me, so how'd it go? And then I'll have to be like, you don't want to know. And they're like, what are you talking about? Some things aren't meant to be explored. And then I live in my house forever with the thought of what I saw. With the ocean, I could just resurface and then never go to the beach again. Like, it's a very easy It's a very easy process. I don't have to tell anybody what I saw. I can live with it by myself. It's right. A very simple process.
No one's that interested on what you see in the bottom of the ocean. They're way more interested in what you see in space. Right. So you can't even come back from space. It'd just be like, whatever. It was just
space. I feel like what I'm going to find out at the bottom of the ocean might not be as existential as what I'm going to find out in the deepest crevices of space.
Who knows though, right? Like, woof. Maybe it's just a little microcosm of space and it's all the same fractal.
Mm-hmm.
You get to the bottom of the ocean and you end up in space.
Like the gateway to space. I saw I don't know if it was in a movie, TV show, something, or just like some weird art clip or something, but it was like the bottom of the ocean was like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like the bottom of the ocean was like the top of the ocean, and like there was like a surface. Like imagine our sky, but our sky was like the surface of the bottom of the ocean. So like when we took a rocket up, or like if we took a plane up, I guess you go into the bottom of the ocean, and then like that starts the bottom of the ocean. So then you have to go all the way up to the top of the ocean and then get back up to like the main surface of the planet.
Whoa.
mind blowing. I was like, it's harder to explain than it was actually to show it. If I find the picture, I'll send it later. But it was trippy. It was trippy. It was like there was like a picture of like a submarine falling out of it or something. I was like, okay, that's kind of dope.
Oh,
All kinds of crazy things from the ocean.
Yeah, from the ocean, from the stars. Either one.
I encourage the next episode to be a space episode.
I'm gonna.
I'm motioning for it.
Done. Writing it down. Any idea is a good idea. We only have our one alien listener to lose. And while it is their home turf, I'm sure they'll be excited to hear our take on it.
Yeah. I know that would kind of be like outing yourself, alien listener, if you like talk in the comments, but like, please, like if you have like a topic that we should talk about, let us know. Because you're like you're the professor of that area of study. We're merely your students when it comes to that. So if you got something you want us to study, just let us know.
I just wrote it down. Space episode 10. It's
Hell
scheduled.
yeah.
Love that. It's a good episode to have space be talked about.
Yeah. For double
especially
digits.
after the ocean episode. It is a good episode. Like 10 for space, right after the ocean. It's a natural progression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What was that?
I don't know. What was that? That came from your side.
It might have been me. I think something just fell upstairs.
Oh.
My mic is very sensitive today. I don't know why.
The bombs are starting to fall. No.
Yeah, as long as it's not somebody banging in our apartment, I'm okay.
Right.
False alarm.
All right.
That's
Well, that
good.
seems
That's
like
good.
a decent spot to start wrapping things up.
Sweet.
I believe we have our list, our tiny list to go through. Do you have that list?
Yeah. One moment. Let me go get it. May I pick a quote
Sure.
from the list?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. Okay. Oh, these are really good. I feel bad when I kill the fairies. It's like slapping a child.
That is a thing you should sort of reflect on. Like, damn, I did that. Wow, what kind of person am I?
Right, like I feel bad.
Yeah. What
Slapping
was
the
the
fairies.
context? Why did I remember that was a quote of you? You said that.
Yeah, we were playing your D&D campaign, and we got assailed by some fairies, and they were little. And if we will bring this up more, I'm sure we'll have several Dungeons and Dragons exclusive episodes in our future.
Probably should.
But
Yeah.
listeners, Brandon has or Maui, I don't know what name you're using here, has a
There's no
D&D
form.
campaign that was very loosey-goosey, kind of fun, and just like whatever could happen kind of did. And for some reason, he made every villain or thing that we killed so sympathetic, and like you just couldn't bear to want to destroy it. There were gnolls that were like, please don't kill me, I have children. Oh! And like literally everything you came across had a reasonable story, and you were like, you have such a reason to exist, how could I possibly do this to you? And Brandon was like, why are you guys being so soft? You just kill it, it's the villain, it's the bad guy. And you're like, Brandon, you keep getting us emotionally invested every single time. And so these fairies were very pathetic, and you were just like, man, and we were kind of strong, and there were a lot of fairies, so it wasn't like an easy fight. But when you killed one, it wasn't too hard, and it was kind of just like, man, that felt bad. That didn't feel good. Like, are we the baddies?
I feel like one punch might not kill a fairy, but it might like cripple it for the rest of its life.
Oh my God.
Like if you were to just full on punch a fairy, I feel like it wouldn't end well. It wouldn't end well for it.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends on the fairy, right? What lore we're going off of, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I will say though, I can think of at least 2 enemies that I did not make you feel sympathetic for, and that was the bullets.
That was a swarm of bullets, which should never exist. Why would I sympathize with that? They made no noise. They had no conversation. We had stopped to talk with them. I bet you could have pulled it off.
Yeah, probably.
They almost killed Simon, though.
Yeah,
They did.
it was a terrible time.
And that one dwarven, like, necro zombie lord. Yeah, I didn't make you feel bad for him either.
When you bring back a dead party member, you just kind of make people angry. So good job on that one, I guess.
Oh, well.
And by the way, they didn't bring them back like, oh, they're alive now. No, they made them a zombie and we had to fight them and it was rude.
Whoops.
Whoops, all sympathetic enemies.
It's like Demon Slayer.
You just cry for the demons every time. You're like, but they're so tragic. You're right. Maybe I should respect that more. It's a whole successful anime that's doing that, so maybe I shouldn't shit talk your art.
Maybe they copied it from me.
I mean, they might have. I'm optimistic about it.
It's the silence. Thank you for your optimism.
I'd like to think that you were the first one who was doing it out here.
Can you hear that?
Yes.
Oh, whoops.
I think
There's a box that I'm shaking. I'm not doing anything weird.
I think it's a great time to stop the episode. Does everyone agree?
Yeah, no, that sounds fine.
I agree.
I'm starting to shake boxes over here.
All right. Goodbye, everyone.
Good night. It was nice talking with you. Live your life.
Just a message in a bottle that reads, yeet.
Yeet!